Hello, good evening, Chuckadelphia. This is Chuck coming to you live from Chuckadelphia. And tonight I wanted to talk about some important words when we form adjective clauses. Okay, now, as you may know, adjectives commonly come before nouns, right? So if I say, my red hat, red is the adjective, hat is the noun, right? However, if I say, my red hat, comma, which is my favorite hat, comma, is a Phillies hat. Okay? There, the adjective clause is describing the noun, which comes before it. Right? So now, many people are not sure when we should use which or that for these adjective clauses. And tonight I am here to help you out with that. Okay? So buckle up and come along with me for this ride. Okay? So first and foremost, the words which and that can be fun and exciting, right? Oh no, not definitely not as fun as the words who and whom. All right, but which and that can be fun, and I'm going to tell you how to make them fun. Okay, how to make them easier for you to understand. Right. So you check this out here. Okay, our house that has a yellow door and orange shutters needs painting. Okay, now here the use of that implies that we own more than one house, and therefore must explain to you that we are talking about a particular house of ours, the one with a yellow door and orange shutters. We cannot leave out that adjective clause because it is essential to your understanding of the sentence. That is, you wouldn't know which one of our houses needs the paint job without the clause, without that information. Okay, this makes it specific. This gives you the exact information that you need. Essential information, right? Okay. Now here we use which. Our house, which has a yellow door and orange shutters, needs painting. Now see, we use the commas with which, right? And this is what we call a non-essential clause. Here, which tells you that we own only one house, and we are simply telling you, in case you want to know, that it happens to have a yellow door and orange shutters. We could leave out that information in the adjective clause and the sentence would still make sense. Okay? But if you know that we have one house, we would just say, our house needs painting, right? That other information doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. Whereas in the previous sentence, the previous example with that, we had to specify that we had one particular house out of others that needed it needed painting, right? This means this here, our house that has a yellow door and orange shutters needs painting. That means we have several houses, but one of them needs painting. And therefore that here is essential. But here, our house, which has a yellow door and orange shutters, this means that we only have one house and it needs painting. In case you didn't know, it has a yellow door and orange shutters. That's all. It's like saying, by the way, it has a yellow door and orange shutters, which means it's not really that important. Okay? And here, the bedrooms that we painted over the summer are bright and colorful. Okay? Since we use that to start this adjective clause, it tells us that only some of the bedrooms were painted over the summer. If we removed the clause that were painted over the summer, we would be left with the bedrooms are bright and colorful, a statement that would not be accurate since it would imply that all the bedrooms are bright and colorful. In this sentence, therefore, the adjective clause is essential to the meaning of the sentence. Essential. Essential, something we need, right? Like water. Water is essential, right? Whiskey, non-essential. But to some people, maybe it is. But for the most part, it's non-essential, right? Okay. So if we use which here, okay, the bedrooms, again with commas, which we painted over the summer, are bright and colorful. Since we use which to start this adjective clause, it tells us that all of the bedrooms were painted over the summer. If we remove the clause, which were painted over the summer, we would be left with the bedrooms are bright and colorful. And this would be accurate since it would imply that all the bedrooms are bright and colorful. In this sentence, therefore, the adjective clause is not essential to the meaning of the sentence. This is our whiskey, non-essential. Okay? Now, the rule is this. The rule then is that which clauses are non-restrictive, non-essential, while that clauses are restrictive and essential. Basically, which is the whiskey clause, right? That is the water clause. Okay? Non-essential clauses need commas. I took off from work on my birthday, right? So here, my birthday is specific. So therefore, when I put the comma and which fell on a Tuesday this year, that means it's just additional information. You didn't really need to know it, right? My dream car is a Corvette. Corvette is a proper noun. Now that's a good indicator. When you see a proper noun, you should use a comma and then which. Okay, definitely do not use a that there. Okay, which is a sports car. My dream car is a Corvette, comma, which is a sports car. Sound good? Right. That's not too bad, not too hard. Essential clauses typically support nouns that are not specific, non-essential ones with those that are specific. Okay? Essential clauses. Here, the bike that is parked outside is my brother's bike. Okay? We need that is parked outside to specify which bike we're talking about here. So there, it's essential, right? I like cars that have convertible tops. Now, there are many cars in the world, but I need to make it specific. So I give it a that clause to give it that essential meaning, that important specific meaning, that have convertible tops, right? Now, down below, my brother's bike. I'm being specific about one, right? So therefore, I would put a comma here, which is parked outside, comma, is a mountain bike. There you go. Okay? I'm already specific. The information I'm putting there is, just like, oh yeah, by the way, which is parked outside. Okay? And then the last one here, I like Ford Mustangs. That's a proper noun, comma, which are traditionally known as muscle cars. Now also notice here at the end of the sentence, okay, you have the comma and then the adjective clause. Then you just put the period. You don't put another comma there. You'll see that as this clears out there. Okay, so now which and that are used for things, and you'll see them in other places too. But for the most part, which and that are used for things. But here, we use who and whom for people and animals with names, such as pets, right? So, for example, these are the kids who, not that, just finished their tests. I gave a piece of chicken to my cat Dante. It's a proper noun, comma, who quickly ate it. The plumber, whom I called, arrived before noon. Now, I know some of you have asked me about who and whom, and we'll get to that eventually. But tonight, we're focusing on which and that, okay? But I promise you we'll get to who and whom eventually, okay? So, let's have you guys try some, okay? Now, Carlo gave Magos a study guide for material, okay? A study guide for material. That's not really specific enough, right? So we need a little more information. And since we do, to make it essential, we would use that. That was going to be on the exam. You understand? A study guide for material. What's that about? What do you mean? But if you say it was going to be on the exam, then it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I understand. Okay? Let's go back. Okay? Now, Carlo gave Mago's notes on chapters 8 through 11. Now that's specific, right? So this other information isn't really essential, which we're going to be on the exam. Okay, now you might say, well, the exam is essential. I need to know what's on the exam. But technically, it's not really that important because this right here, we know that Carlo gave Magos on specific chapters here. Okay, so which would be the best one here? Now, Anthony and Carmela took their children on every vacation. Which or that they took to the beach. Well, this isn't specific enough. Okay? If we said Anthony and Carmela took their children on every vacation, that means every single vacation. That might be impossible, right? Because their children weren't there when they weren't born, right? So now we need that to make this specific, that they took to the beach. Now it's like, okay, so they went on every vacation that they took to the beach. Now it's specific. So that was essential. This is essential information. Okay? And remember, don't use the comma there. Okay? Down here below, the teachers gave prizes to all projects which or that showed creativity. Here, it should be pretty easy. They did not give prizes to everybody, right? No, just the ones that showed creativity. So we use that because that is essential here. You understand? We don't use which here because it's not additional information. It's not non-essential. This is important information. So therefore, we use that. Okay? And so many times they're very similar. Okay, I mean, with proper nouns, it's different. You should use the proper nouns with which. Okay, and if you're specific with my or something like that everybody knows, okay, you should use which. However, if there is important information, if in your judgment you feel that that is important, okay, to provide your reader or listener with the information, with the adjective clause, then you use that. Okay? So, thank you for watching. I appreciate it if you made it this far, especially on a holiday weekend. Okay? Make sure you like my videos, subscribe to my Chuckadelphia YouTube channel, click on the notifications bell, spread the word to your friends and family, ask questions and give comments or examples for feedback. If you want to know if you're doing this right, give me some examples in the box below and I'll let you know. Okay? And I want you to understand that we're giving this information out to you for free. We're trying to help you become better practitioners of the English language. Now, if you want detailed information about like writing essays and speaking and, other grammatical points, it would be great for you to communicate with us or be in touch with Infinite English Academy located in Quito, Ecuador. Okay? Or just send me a message and we'll be in touch with you. Okay? Thanks again for watching. This is Chuck coming to you from Chuckadelphia. And as always, carpe diem. Have a wonderful night. Ciao, ciao.